Welcome to Belly's Designs and Home Solution, where we give you ideas on where to source stuff, decorate, design, and also compare products and where to source it for your Airbnb. Please subscribe to my channel. Today you're gonna look at the before and the after of an oven extractor fan filter. So if you've got one of these really dirty filter where it's greasy, that's the after. I'm going to show you how to take it to that stage to look like this. So please maybe find a brush, wear your gloves. That's how it looks on the oven extractor fan itself. I'm going to use Oven Made and I'm going to use Degrease. So those are the two main products I'm going to use. And also some fairy soap, which obviously everyone knows what fairy soap is. Make sure you protect your surface. I'm using a foil paper to protect it. So I've got a client who's called me to revive this extractor fan. It has been unclean for about 4 years. So we're going to see how we can revive it to something, you know, better than that. So you can use a brush. That brush comes with the Oven Made cleaning gel. You can get it off Amazon. I'm going to put the links again in the description section for you to buy that using the Amazon link. So please do wash it to the end, and we're going to dive straight to the point. So put the Oven Made on the brush and apply that everywhere on both of the extractor or the grease filter or the mesh filter, whatever you want to call it. So look at how really greasy that is. And we're going to see how we can, you know, revive it and bring it to life. So yes, so if you do a lot of frying, you know, cooking greasy stuff, and then you're going to expect that if you don't clean it regularly. So so what I'm going to do, look at that, show you how to take it off. So you're going to probably press that little button on the fan and then push it to take out the mesh. So I'm just going to illustrate that for you. So, and be careful because the mesh, it looks solid, but it can be quite fragile, especially when it has been used for a while and it's got a lot of grease. So be careful when you take it out, otherwise it start, you know, coming out. So yes, do apply the oven cleaning gel, which is used like an oven cleaner. I will show you one of my kitchen hacks on how to use that to clean your metal mesh or the grease filter or for your cooker hood. So apply that again, just apply it, make sure you put it on the brush and spread it over evenly on the mesh. And that brush is quite handy because it makes it goes right deep into the mesh, which is really helpful to take it out. So apply that, you know, and then obviously we're gonna spread it and then leave it for some time. So you can see that I've put it on everywhere with a brush, and again, that's what you do. So I'll take a sponge as well, and then just on the hood itself, I'll apply the gel on the hood on the areas where, you know, we can clean it, because you don't want to clean the mesh and then the hood looks really messy when you put it back on. So you want everywhere clean. So look at how dirty that is. So I'm going to, you know, put that gel around on the extractor fan itself and leave it for some time. So I will say five to 10 minutes on this one. So I've just left the mesh itself. So I'm going to leave it for about 20 minutes while I'm cleaning this, so that the gel does its tricks. And you know, obviously we should be able to melt the grease. So the gel is just to help melt the grease or to degrease it. So again, just spread it around, take all the greasy parts on the extractor fan or the cooker hood, just spread it all around evenly and leave it for about 10 minutes. Also, if you've got a backsplash that's metallic and is greasy, you do the same as well. So just, you know, apply it everywhere. And, you know, it's maybe I'll say about 20 minutes. Look at the extractor fan there with the grease fully covered. So I am going to, you know, in a minute, you know, after putting that, I would put on the kettle. So make sure you've got your kettle ready as well. Boil the kettle because we're going to use warm water to do most of the cleaning. So spray that evenly as much as possible. And then, you know, look at that. So another thing as well, I've used a sponge just to clean the edges of that filter. So you take out those rough, really, you know, parts as well, which is really tricky. Use that with the excess gel just to wipe it off. Look at that. So see how clean that is. That is beautiful, isn't it? So and look at how the gel is actually coming on the mesh, because I put it for a while. So you use a sponge to clean it, and also make sure you get a plastic ready. So I'm going to use that, you know, the kettle, as I said, you know, I'm going to run the kettle. Look at that. That's coming off, isn't it? Really beautiful. So that's a test batch. Feel free to do a test batch. So I'm just doing a test batch to see how I could easily take that off. So that will come off, and I would actually just make sure that that can become off. Look at that. Look how beautiful it is just with a test batch. Without scrubbing so hard. So that's a bit hard. I'm using a small brush just to scrub it a little bit, and that has come off. Because that was really a thick grease on the mesh. Another thing as well is to also make sure, look at that, look at how that has come off on the on there as well, on your foil paper. You can see the excess grease that has come off on there. You just pass that. So yeah, that is actually doing something, which is good. So the whole idea here is to make sure we degrease it. As I said before, I'm going to, you know, use your kettle. So I've just boiled water, and I'm going to, you know, find a big plastic container where I think we can actually put in some water to actually degrease it. So again, this is for those that haven't got a dishwasher. If you haven't got a dishwasher, and then this is really going to be helpful for you. So that's a big container, as I said before. So put in some fairy soap in there. And once you've got the fairy soap, that's lukewarm water, you can then, you know, put in some water from the tap to dilute it, and make sure that you test the water is not too hot, like hot, where you can put yourself. So I'm just make sure I make the foam, you know, the soap evenly spread in that container, and I will pour in some hot water in there, so it dilutes that, and it's not too hot, because you don't want to melt again the mesh itself, like it can break. So you want to make it hot, but not as hot as if it can, you know, just dissolve everything else. So yes, so that's the water. And next thing is to, you know, actually pick up the mesh and put it inside the water. Again, you have to make sure that you are careful with this. Look at how greasy that is coming off. Look at that. Oh my God. Look, I'm just going to run water, and you see how that comes off easily. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Look at that water. Oh my God. That has come off. Isn't it easy for you to do in less than 30 minutes cleaning that? At home, you just have to leave it on, and then just rinse it off as with much water, warm water as possible. You can see that you know, container has got a lot of grease on it. Look, see how yellow it is and greasy that looks. So yes, so rinse it off plenty of time, as much as possible. You need a big container, actually. Make sure that it's big enough so you can dip it in. If you can dip it in for a few minutes, that's fine. Obviously, it works better if you leave it for some time in that water. But again, that works well. You can then, you know, see how that has come off. Look at that. Sparkling clean, isn't it? Sparkling clean. There's another layer. Keep washing just to finalize it, to make it less greasy and shiny. I'm going to do another step after this, but just from looking at this step, that looks really, really clean. It is brilliant, isn't it? Please do put in a comment box what you think, or in the comment section rather, what you think about this. And if you're ever struggling to clean this and you find this useful, please do put that in the comment section. So the next step will be to use herbal grease. Our favorite herbal grease. We love herbal grease on this channel because it does the trick. So yes, we're going to put the herbal grease. Again, I will put the link in the description section for you to buy the elbow grease on Amazon as well. The elbow grease is used to just remove everything greasy on that. So the best thing, look at that. Look at that. So that's actually coming off again, because sometimes it's hidden, the grease is hidden right inside. So when you leave it for 10 minutes, again, that actually comes off and it soaks out everything. So that is beautiful. Look at that. So look how greasy it is. That's the next step. So again, you still have to, you know, use that water and wash it, keep washing it and rinse it off. So when you do that a couple of times, again, that will come off. And keep doing it. Just pour hot water on there. I've just poured hot water on that one because the water is not really, you know, up to boiling point. I've just left it, didn't boil the kettle until it stopped. So just make it a bit warm, just to remove the finer grease on the mesh. So again, that looks beautiful, isn't it? Really, really nice. Once you clean it off and you think there's some grease on the mesh, what you can do is actually spray some elbow grease again on it. So see how a little bit, I've just sprayed it. I left it while I'm finishing up the cleaning of the extractor fan or the hood. And also you can then use a microfiber cloth just to do a nice finish after using elbow grease to spray the hood. And also if you have a splashback which is metallic, again, that is good to spray on there, take out the grease quite well, and because you want to have a nice finish, isn't it? When you've cleaned the mesh, you want to clean the cooker as well, so they all look clean, nice and clean. So I'm going to finish it off while that elbow grease is, you know, being taken off. Some of the finer grease on the mesh or the grease filter, I will finish that off. And also you can clean right up to the top of the fan, get a stepping stand on it and take it off, all the grease, so it looks really nice. So the elbow grease does the trick. Just leave it, and if it doesn't come off, again, spray it as many times as possible and use warm water with soapy water to finish it off. So see how that looks like after using the elbow grease. Just a little bit left, so I'm just going to rinse it off. I've left it for 5 minutes, so in water with a little bit of soap. I would then do a final wash just to make it look all nice and clean, with warm water. That should do the trick. So again, you know, just rinse it off nicely with the mesh. Look at that, it's almost clean, but you still have some grease on it. So, you know, clean it, shake it quite well, and then you should have a nice lovely finish. Look at that, beautiful, isn't it? Sparkling clean. Lovely, isn't it? Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, share and comment, and thank you for watching Bellex Design and Home Solution, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.